So this was a pretty big story, and it was one that I was thinking, hey, you should cover that. It's honestly a very interesting thing because you can attack it from two different ways, honestly, and that's something that I feel like is, that realistically we all need as fans. We look at Xbox and we go, okay, well, we need Xbox to do good. And this is the thing, for a long time, right? Like, I know some people go, oh, well, console sales don't matter, or sales of this don't matter, sales of that don't matter. I have to tell you that they 100% do matter in, like, the biggest ways you can imagine, right? So if you were selling something and your business was reliant on something selling, right, and you don't sell it, what happens? I mean, you're going to go out of business. Now, clearly, Microsoft has their hand in a lot of different things, and so, you might go, okay, well, they're really proficient with the cloud and this and that and the other thing, but the bottom line is, when the hardware gets stagnant, it's not a good thing, and they're probably looking at this going, what's this all about? But anyway, I want to get into this because, it could buy them time with the hardware, and I think maybe that would be the hope, in my opinion. So I guess we'll see. What's up, everyone? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe, as I would appreciate that as well. It really helps out my channel, and it means a lot to me personally. So, again, I do daily gaming content, so if you're looking for that, look no further. I try to be fun yet informative, and that's something that not everybody can do. So, I always kind of pride myself on that. I put in the grind, and the channel's growing a little bit. And if you guys enjoy any of the content, please, a simple like is honestly all that I ask for. Now, with that being said, I did a video not too long ago about the situation with the hardware falling another almost 30% again. Honestly, I don't see how many times that thing can fall. Hopefully, it'll be all right. But anyway, according to this, Microsoft was the #1 games publisher in the world in December. Nearly $500 million was spent on Xbox games. Now, the interesting thing about this was, so $465 million was spent on Microsoft games in December, making the company the world's biggest publisher, and this was across PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Funny thing is, the biggest spenders were on PlayStation, and I find this ironic for a couple of reasons. People will probably look at this and go, okay, well, that's interesting. That really kind of solidifies why they have to be multi-platform. The odd thing is, though, is that if they had sold 72 million consoles like PlayStation, they probably wouldn't need to do that, right? It's like, and you wonder why PlayStation doesn't put games everywhere, and that's a big reason why. So, according to data from Ampere, which I'll link in the description, includes sales of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is obviously, that's going to sell well every December, which is one of the biggest games over the holiday period. It also includes the release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which launched in December, and we know was played by 4 million people, which again, I mean, I don't get why more people didn't play it, especially since the game scored well. I could understand if the game didn't score well, but over 30 million people have access to Game Pass, and yet this game only gets played by 4 million people, and only 400,000 of those actually bothered to beat it, and the game wasn't incredibly hard or anything like that. It was fun, it was action-packed, great voice acting and music, it was fast-paced. I thought the pacing of the game was really well done, and so that's something that I feel like, obviously, so I don't understand that aspect of it much, but it is nice to see that they were doing well. Microsoft has put an increased focus on its multi-format strategy, and 64% of consumer spending on titles in December was on PlayStation. Of course, this was pretty much just Call of Duty since Indiana Jones wasn't on there. But by the way, so you go, okay, so what is the deal with all this? So PlayStation earns almost 100 million of that just by having these games on there. And then what Sony's going to do, they're going to take that money and they're going to go and buy more Stellar Blades and, Neos and, these type of games, Silent Hill 2. They're going to go out and do that. And, that's just that's just what they're going to do. Anthea says that Microsoft was comfortably ahead of second place Electronic Arts, which generated $366 million over the same period. EA's performance was driven by EA Sports FC 25, which delivered big numbers, albeit smaller than they were last year. Anthea data also revealed that 30 million hours were spent playing Fortnite on Christmas Day, which meant the average Fortnite gamer spent 2.3 hours of the game on that day. 20 million hours were also spent on Call of Duty games during December 25th. The two big talking points of the month were Marvel Rivals, which brought in 29 million monthly active users over December, while Path of Exile 2 generated 148 million, according to the firm. And both of their successes made December a big month for Chinese publishers, which are growing influence, just what we need, over the global games industry. There were 4 key publishers published games that drove the numbers, including Marvel Rivals, NetEase, Path of Exile, Tencent, Infinity Nikki Paper Games, and Delta Force, Tencent. As a result of those titles, Chinese game publishers Tencent and NetEase entered Anthea's monthly ranking from the first time. According to recent NPD as well, PS5 console sales are tracking ahead of PS4, while Xbox Series consoles lag pretty far behind Xbox One, highlighting the widening gap between the machines. We'll see. Last week, of course, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer did the media rounds, discussing where Xbox console hardware fits within its new, more open approach to multi-platform strategies or whatever have you. So, again, I have to point out, this is good news. Maybe it can keep Xbox, relevant and the console, maybe because of that could be a positive, right? Oh, well, we're doing pretty well from this, and this, so maybe we can keep, the situation where we have, Xboxes out there. We can keep those going because we're making money as the third-party publishers or whatever. My main concern, of course, I would have many concerns, but I think the main concern that I would have would be that Microsoft doesn't really value the console at all and doesn't put as much kind of emphasis on it, which you can already see them kind of de-emphasize the console whenever they talk about stuff. It's cloud or PC or whatever, and I feel like that's not a good thing. And then you could have developers that they kind of de-emphasize the hardware, and I think that would be a very bad thing indeed, kind of going forward. And I don't want that to happen at all. I want to see Microsoft be successful. I want to see fans be able to. If they have the investment of an Xbox, to be able to really get something from that. And I feel like, we're kind of in a situation where we still don't necessarily have that, we'll kind of see how that kind of shakes out. But again, the way that I'm kind of looking at this, Microsoft has a long way to go. Yeah, they're making money because they bought the biggest publisher with the biggest game in the world. But again, it's like they already had Minecraft that was kind of doing something similar, that's going to always sell, perpetually sell, and people are going to always be able to buy that. So to me, I always thought, the Activision deal was to, help pay for and offset the exclusivity of the ZeniMax games and the other games that they have and things like that. But I never in my wildest dreams thought, hey, Microsoft is out here, selling, games on PlayStation like that. I never really thought that was going to be a thing, especially since we know that Sony goes out and, does their damnedest to make sure that games don't come out on Xbox, and I always felt like, that was really foolish of Microsoft to play into that. So, again, we'll see how that kind of works out. I hope that Microsoft can do something and continue to grow in this. We don't know what the future lies or anything like that, but hopefully what we see is that Microsoft can kind of do something that really changes and shakes up the industry. They can get people back interested in, we'll see what happens. I hope so anyway. I hope they can sell consoles and stuff. I know people go, oh, well, it's about everything everywhere. I honestly do not care about playing games streaming games on my phone while I'm taking a poop. You know, that stuff doesn't really interest me. With that being said, thanks for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up. I'll catch you next time. Crap gamer out.